Well, look who it is. It's our lovely listener back again for another week of Flop Soup. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Justin.
I'm Cassandra.
And Cassandra, how are you flopping this week?
Thank you, Justin, so much for asking. I am flopping this week because I cannot have a normal time at my local post office.
This will hit deeply.
Yeah, classic flop soup fodder here, but
many such cases.
First of all, I just want to apologize for just kind of like assassinating the character of many businesses around me on this podcast, but this post office is like got to be one of the worst places I've ever gone ever in my life to do anything. There's like
it's a Helma.
There's like never more than one person working. I swear to God, they will be like randomly closed like at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday, like the time that you would think is like most the time that a post office would be open. And right. I would say that the employees in some ways, like in an honorable fashion, except for they work for the government, so there's not really a man to stick it to as much. Like they don't want you to succeed, like at whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like whether or not it's like
feeling. It is that feeling. It's just like it's an obstacle course.
Yeah, it's like how will we accomplish this not together?
Mm-hmm.
So today I went in and I first of all, the whole situation is if there's a line, like you might be there for 25 minutes just before you get even up to where you need to talk to a person. But right. I looked in
and you could be thwarted at that point too.
You could be stopped. It could be like, exactly. we can't actually do that for you. But today, so I looked in and there was no line. So that was really great. So I was like, okay, my original plan, this tells you how dire the situation is. My original plan, because I needed a box for something, my original plan was to go to the UPS next door and pay for the box there and then drop it off. So I look in and I'm like, there's no line. So this actually should be fine. I walk up and I'm like, hey, like I just need like a small box for this thing that I need to return, and then I have the thing and then I just have to tape it on. And she's like, okay, so you can get the box over there and then you're gonna have to buy like pieces of tape that we sell if you want to tape it on. And I'm like, you really can't tape it on for me, but okay. So I get just like
that's one of those optional side quest tasks too, where it's like you just decided that right here, right now, that I need to pay for that.
I need to pay for that because at the UPS store they will tape it for you. They're like, yeah, of course. It's fine.
Who cares? Yeah.
And I hate seeing like the free market like succeeding in this way, but that UPS is full of kind old guys who I love, and this USPS is full of women who do not love me.
The misogyny.
So I am like, all right, like I grab the stuff that I need, and then I see this sign that says exact cash accepted only, and it's kind of like off to the side, and I'm like, is that still happening? Like, can I pay you with my credit card? And she's like, yeah, like my machine is down. I don't know what happened. Some guy was like trying to stick his debit card in there and now the whole thing is broken. And I was like,
shut up.
Okay.
That doesn't happen.
Right.
You're lying to me for some reason. Like that's not real.
I don't know what's going on here, but I already put my returned thing into the container and opened and sealed it. So it's mine now. Like there's no, like, I can't take it. So I'm like, all right, do you know where the closest ATM is? And she's like, oh yeah, there's like one across the street. So I go to this ATM, I get out $20. And then I think to myself, the sign said exact cash. So I can't give her $20 for $4 worth of stuff. So then I go up to the cashier and I'm like, hey, is there any way you can break this 20? And he's like, I can't. And I'm like, okay, this is a convenience store.
You can't or you won't. You can't or you won't.
That's like, fuck you. So I run across the street because there's another convenience store across the street, and I'm like,
you're running around the neighborhood.
I'm like running around the neighborhood, and I'm like, hey, is there any way you can break this? And she's like, sorry, I can't. And I was like, damn, really? Like, and I tried to explain to see if she'll take pity on me. I'm like, the post office is like only taking exact cash right now. It's like kind of crazy. And I'm also thinking that maybe we'll have some camaraderie here as she's like 2 doors down. She must know about how this post office is crazy.
Yeah.
And she's still like, no. So then I'm like, all right, I think I'm just going to have to buy something. And what do I end up doing? I buy a thing of Scotch tape from the UPS store and I say, hey, can I get 5 ones instead of a 5 with my change. And he's like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, this is the store. I should have just come here first and then just dropped it right off. And so then I go over and I give her, and then you know what's crazy? I gave her $4.25 for 408. And then she gave me some change on the 25. And I was like, so you have something back there.
What is the truth?
So you have something back there. I don't know if I skipped that I went in with the 20 and I was like, will you take this? And she was like, no. And then I ran back out.
Just standing in the way of a woman trying to make it work.
Trying to just return a stupid dress that she bought from Amazon that she didn't realize wasn't in the like normal packaging. And like I had to go through the USPS. I'm like, the whole point of Amazon is that you have some regimented like situation for returns. I will say I did do a good deed to brag on the pod, which is that there was a guy there who needed a stamp and he had no cash of any kind. And I was like, here, do you want $1?
I need $1, that's what I need.
And you said, yes, I've suffered. I
said, let me end the cycle right now. Here's my $1. You mail that letter, King. Have a good one. Very floppy experience for me. It ended up taking the 25 minutes that I feared that it would. But I made it under the deadline. I had been dreading trying to do this. Like I had like 2 more days to get this done. So here we go. Justin, how are you flopping?
This week, I tracked down and sought out the Share Lotto truck. So if you don't know what those words mean because they aren't in the Bible, it is Cher's gelato truck.
Oh, yeah. Faux shiz.
That drives around Los Angeles. And I said, hey, Mom, like, let's go to Share Lotto together. And
that's nice.
Yes, I mean, she put me on to Believe.
That's a really good point. And shout out to all of our moms for that.
Right. Forever altered because of that. So we went and it was great. I mean, love Mom, love hanging with Mom. But this truck, I mean, it's you pull
for
up,
the record, like, I do just want to say really quickly, I knew before you explained. I knew already what it was.
Of course. I mean, that's why we're here together.
I know,
it's our show. We're one. So yeah, we pull up and it's just the images on the truck itself is like an image of Cher that I've seen so many times before. It honestly feels like the image that was used of her on the Burlesque movie poster that's been photoshopped to just place a cartoon ice cream cone in her hands that
instead of like a pole.
It's insane. It's like it probably would have just been easier at this point to just have Cher hold the gelato. I don't know. But yeah, instead of like Christina Aguilera, she's like standing next to an ice cream cone. So they have this cone that's like gold. It's the golden cone. They don't tell you what it is. And so my mom was like, well, we're never coming back to this truck. So we should get that for one of our cones. And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? Like I want to know what this is. So we get it. It's like, I got a pistachio thing. We got it. They hand it to me. But before they hand it to me, before I even see what the cone is, they say, here's a glove. They give me a white glove that I have to hold my cone with. So I'm like, okay. And so I put the glove on and I say, what is going to come into my head next? This cone that's like a greenish gold. It's like dipped in gold powder. So like if you for a second, it's horrible. Like the texture of it is so strange because it's like coated in this stuff. So it's almost like, I don't know. And you're supposed to eat the gold cone too. And you're like, nothing about this tells me that I should be eating it. It doesn't look edible. It doesn't feel edible.
You gave me a glove for this. Like I can't even touch it.
Poison me this Sunday afternoon. Like it was scary. And like, of course it's melting and then it's mixing with the gold powder and it's dripping down my gloved hand.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
walking down Montana in front of the La La Land Coffee, which is like doing an Emma Chamberlain x Do Donuts collaboration thing. I'm glad I went. But ultimately, like that's how I'm flopping because it was $18. And
oh my God, for you to eat like a potentially toxic cone,
for me to poison myself in front of all the girlies on Montana. Yeah, it was crazy. It was, but again, I never flop when I'm hanging out with my mom. I love my mom so much.
Really good point.
But I will.
Was the gelato good? Was the gelato good?
It was fine. I would have liked if they got a little bit more creative with the pistachios. They truly just put little pistachios, not like on the ice cream. I would have loved to see it ground up and dipped, you know?
Yeah.
Like a tasteful dip of like ground up pistachio, but instead it was like whole pistachios just stuck to the.
Were they like unshelled? Were they shelled? Like
they were unshelled. Yes. Okay. I'm just gnawing on some pistachios.
Like, I'm almost to the first one.
Share, please.
Share's like, by the way, it's $2 extra if you want us to unshell them.
And you're gonna have to see your orthodontist. Yeah, it was bad.
That's okay. Yeah, I was gonna like when you were first saying gold, I was like Goldschlager, like it's just like flex,
right?
And it was really like many flex in like a toxic.
In a really creepy
compound kind of way.
And then I have this glove, and then I'm like, oh, the glove is all fucked up. So I put it in my hand, and then you still get the gold on your hand, and then it's on my phone case still somehow. Like
that is like, I actually think like Surgeon General's warning, like do not have more than one of those.
There are crimes against humanity happening at the Charlotte truck every weekend.
Like there's going to be like in 10 years, some class action suit, like the gold from the Charlotte truck poisoned me.
And
like,
I will be there front of the line. Collecting them share coins.
Do you believe
class action lawsuit?
Wow,
I
haunted.
also just have to say, like, share lotto, is there truly no better name for it?
No better pun. Like there's nothing else.
And I've thought of it, and we've done so many puns together as a podcast, and like I can't think of anything that's better.
I mean, gelato isn't a lot to work with. I think I would need to know more about Cher's oeuvre. Like there has to be a song that like can do this work. I just am not sure. I mean, do you believe in like gelato after love or something? I don't know.
You tried it.
do you believe it?
Gelato after love.
You tried it, and even then, it's like that's so much to fit onto a truck.
Sherbet. Oh, good. And she should have done sorbet. Sorry, this is from producer David. Sherbet. Yes, instead of sorbet. Perfect.
But that's a whole different type of ice cream.
It is a whole different type of ice cream. But also, I feel like, no offense, Los Angeles, but sorbet is more LA coded because it's like hardly a food.
It's the hottest October we've ever seen. Let's hang out with a sorbet. I
feel like it's so calorie free. Like there's just like a gelato has like a dairy element, I feel like.
Versus treacherous like, dairy element. Yeah.
A sorbet is like, it's like, like a water ice, like not even water ice. Yeah, it's like popsicle level.
And it's interesting. I was thinking about this too because she has a Christmas album that just came out this week. So I think she's maybe thinking like ice cream is cold.
Ice cream's cold. Wait,
Christmas album.
Can you tell me that came out this week?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was listening. Sorry, this is a tangent, but I was listening to the new Matt Rogers song. And the Christmas one, and then this song auto played called DJ Play a Christmas Song, and I was like, it is a huge bop, but I was like, how come I've never heard this before? This actually makes me feel so much better because it came out 3 days ago. I just assume that there's so much I don't know about Cher.
Like, if Believe were a Christmas song, that's like what she did on this album.
That's amazing. That's not floppy. Close the truck, release more Christmas songs.
Exactly. But maybe she's thinking the truck is cross promo for the Christmas album.
Christmas because it's cold. I remember what you said. Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. I got one request. DJ play a Christmas song. I wanna be dancing all night long. It's cold outside, but it's warm in here, and that's the only thing I want this year.
But you eat
I don't think so. Like a Christmas cross promo is like steaming hot baked goods and chocolate and stuff. Like
hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate is Christmas.
You know, there's one where it's just like chocolate and then they just put a donut on top and it's called Cher's Breakfast. There's no fun. It's just Cher's Breakfast. We've gone too long on this, but
that's amazing.
Yeah, there's so much here. There's so much here.
What if she really did eat that every day? That's what I really want from celebrities. I don't want it to be like they actually only eat salad. I want it to be like actually this person is so freak of nature that they can have like a donut over chocolate every day for breakfast and be like looking like she does when she's 75.
It's like, and I find that that's just what works for me, and you're like, you know what?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, perfect, great. Yeah.
Kelly Ripa, take notes, honestly.
Please do. Okay. So classic reminder to review Flop Soup the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Podsafe, whatever the apps are called.
Hey, no free promo for them.
No,
okay?
I'm just kidding. I'll bleep it.
Okay. Yes, please
Okay.
review. We love you so much.
Thank you.
We're gonna get into our quick flops now. Yes.
Yes.
So first off, a video is circulating of the singer Sia singing her song Unstoppable while seated at a dinner with Kathy Griffin, Selma Blair, Jesse Tyler Ferguson,
Jump scare.
True, and other celebrities. And all of them seem inexplicably linked, but I've done some research and I think I found some links, maybe.
Okay, interesting. Did you want to share the links? I mean, first let's set the scene a little bit. Like imagine like a horribly lit dinner table, like way too big.
Quiet room.
In a quiet room, like a lofty ceiling in a bad way, like in a commercial industrial way, but it is someone's house. And like the table is not full enough. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Sia is just singing and everyone is looking at her like kind of like clasping their hands like, this is good.
This is so good.
This is
That's
so
the
good.
face. There's no other face but
yeah, it's a visual audio medium,
Yes,
but
audio
like
medium.
just the face is like just like sort of pursed lips, like this is
raised
good.
eyebrows, but not quizzitively, just being like, I love Sia so much.
Yeah,
I
and
love
like
Sia.
no ability to dance, or like you can't sing along when someone's singing. So like that's really
right. If it's Sia,
just like somebody did a cappella like solo at your dinner table, which I think we could all agree huge nightmare, even if it's Sia.
completely. But this is something that Kathy prompted. I looked into this a little bit because I was like, this cannot be just the first time this has happened. And it has happened a previous time. She's had a separate dinner party with Sia singing. That
Terrifying
she kind of is
to
just
consider.
like, sing for us, Sia. Yeah, sing for us, Sia. And other celebrities join. I guess this is something Kathy Griffin does because Kathy Griffin and Sia, for some reason, have a trauma bond that I found out about. Like, apparently Sia was very much there for Kathy Griffin when she had that whole, like, I beheaded Donald Trump picture scandal and was, like, canceled or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Sia did that movie about autism, and which
Music
gave us
Speaks. Music Speaks.
It's just called Music, but it's about
Okay.
autism.
Okay.
And that's what gave us that tweet where she said, let me pull it up really quick. I had two people on the spectrum advising me at all times. Have you seen that tweet?
Yeah, I have seen that tweet. That's When
And
everyone was
"Sia,
like,
why are
this
you making this?
video movie is like offensive, low
It's so
key,
bad.
and
No
she's
one
like, how?
autistic seems to be involved in it. I don't
But
know.
Kate Hudson is question
But
mark
Kate Hudson
like.
and Maddie Ziegler, who you were obsessed with for some reason. But
And
yeah,
so it turns out Kathy
Yeah.
Griffin was like, let me hold your hand, Sia. You held
Exactly.
my hand through Donald Trump
she
beheading
saved
scandal.
her.
Okay.
Kathy Griffin saved Sia, and now
And
she's
now
singing her
they're
songs.
actively harming people with scary dinner parties. I really implore all of you to watch the video. It's like very weird.
Very haunting. I will say, closer look at the video. Lance Bass is also at the table, but he's not named in any of the reporting at this dinner. But I saw that
is okay. Who
I
did
saw that
Jesse
pastel
Tyler
blue.
Ferguson pay to make that happen?
to get named.
Okay.
Lance Bass is on the Trolls soundtrack.
Seriously.
NSYNC is back, baby.
He's
Name
stars on Mars. He's you know.
He's not, but he was a star who literally wanted to go to Mars.
Wait, he wasn't on Stars on Mars? I thought that
He
was
wasn't
a
on
cool
Stars
thing.
on Mars, but he trained to go to the moon.
No, I know. He was like almost went to the moon like for Russia. He was like,
Yes. Yeah, but then it got canceled, but then he wasn't on Stars on Mars.
wow, really? All right.
Yeah. He's never been a
My
star that
bad.
went to
My
Mars.
bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, but we have to say
Because he's above that. But Jesse Tyler Ferguson isn't even good enough to be on Stars on Mars. That's how I see it.
True. Yeah. I don't know what Jesse Tyler Ferguson's up to, and that's scary to me.
I guess he has a lot of money from Modern Family, so he can sit at Kathy Griffin's dinner table and listen to Sia sing
Do AD tours.
Unstoppable. It's like, at least do
Worst one.
the
She
song
did Elastic
about,
Heart
like,
at the previous party. So
I'm
Gotta
still like, give me
fix
cheap
it.
thrills. I would ask for cheap thrills. If I was a celebrity at Kathy Griffin's dinner table, I would
hit him
ask
with
for
the
cheap thrills.
chandelier. Hit him
Yeah.
with chandelier.
Yeah,
You know?
and ideally there's a chandelier hanging
Haha, laugh, funny.
in the expensive home.
You can literally hang from the chandelier
With
here,
props.
Sia. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Next up, Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper was recently spotted with rumored girlfriend Gigi Hadid in New York wearing Ellen DeGeneres boxers. Potential genius deflection of age gap criticism because he's like 20 years older than her and like
He
the
is.
grossest possible 20 years. 48-28 is only 5% better than 38-18. Like,
Yeah, because you're stealing the end of the 20s, which is so valuable.
Yeah, and it's also just like she's so like our age and he's so not, like
Right.
in this
Like-
way that's like, why are you being why is this your new PR relationship?
You're old enough to play a washed up rock and roll singer with tinnitus in A Star Is Born, and you're dating Gigi Hadid?
Like Gigi Hadid, who's famous in a way where your parents would go, who the fuck is that? Who is that? She's so
Another
like,
Hadid, yeah.
she's so like the new kind of famous.
Yeah.
Like that really makes them feel so far apart from each other. And yet he walks out. First of all, he's dressed like Justin Bieber, which I said on the Twitter account, and I'll say it again. He's got stupid sneakers on, sweatpants, and the boxers are stupid boxers. They're pulled right up. You can read Ellen clear as day.
Yeah. Do you think that was he was like, I'm putting these on because I'm here to make a statement and I need to get eyes on me somehow.
And what is that statement? I love Ellen. Yeah, because of Maestro. So like, when does Maestro even come out? We have a lot. I have a lot.
I don't fucking know.
To cover.
So the problem with that is because he's in a tricky spot because he is the actor in the movie and he's the director of it. Directors can promote their movies, but he can't because he's also acting in it.
Because he's also acting in it, right? Okay, so the movie comes out a day before Thanksgiving. It's going to come out Thanksgiving Wednesday.
Okay.
I saw it at the Philadelphia Film Festival this weekend.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
I saw it. I saw it.
Okay, well, we'll talk offline about anything else you saw. But
well, yeah, there's more. None are as exciting as this, but like,
okay.
It was so it's well reviewed. I thought it was horrendous.
You took one look at that schnoz. You said no thanks.
No thanks.
That prosthetic schnoz.
We need to move away from the space of like this actor will just play this person at every age. We need to start casting 3 to 7 actors to play somebody in a biopic that spans age 25 to like death. Okay,
Yep.
Please
shell out. We need the funds.
There are parts of it that are like genius high camp, but overall I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, what have we done?
Wow. So maybe it's better he can't promote it.
Well, I don't think it's better because I think he wants that Oscar so bad. Like, I fear that if he doesn't get it for this, he's gonna do something worse. Like
I love that strategy. Give him the Oscar now so that we don't have to bear
we don't have to do like another idea that he has about something like this. We can talk more offline about it, but like
directors can promote, but he stars in it and he's SAG, and SAG's on strike, so he can't do anything. So
yeah, so it's like he's bound by one thing.
He's like the only director who can't talk about his movie because like Martin Scorsese's out here doing TikToks
running around,
with his daughter.
doing TikToks of being like, go see Killers of the Flower Moon, which I'm gonna see this week. Yay!
Saw it, loved it. Next up, Paris Hilton quote claps back at quote sick criticism of quote perfectly healthy baby Phoenix's big head. Don't post your baby online if he has a huge head. And you're Paris Hilton.
And you're Paris Hilton.
So, I just want to say, I was a baby with a big head. I had
Shout
a big
out
head,
the community.
big old head.
So you can speak on this.
So big, my head got caught in an elevator in a department store when I was a child.
Say more.
I can't explain to you how that actually happens logistically, but it did happen, and they had to, and like I was stuck there for many minutes, and they had to call someone on the staff to come. Like,
wait, you're like baby Jessica in the well.
I truly invented her. Yeah, she.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wow.
Yeah, and as everyone knows, I'm really smart. So having a big head does mean that, which is what Paris Hilton is saying.
That's what she's saying.
Well.
She's like, she has my child has a big brain. So just to be clear, Paris Hilton has a child named Phoenix. The child is like 1 year old, and its head is enormous. The baby's head is as big as a head could be.
So big.
It's silly, and like the hairline is crazy, and like the trend right now, which I think is the right trend, is that celebrities do not show the faces of their kids. Like it's like. You don't put them out there because of this, because of what happened to Chelsea Clinton, like because of
until you
shit.
get divorced and you want to win a custody battle, and then you trot them kids out like Joe Jonas. Yeah.
Aside from that, it's like Paris Hilton, do not put your baby's big head anywhere. Like, if nobody around you is saying, "Hey, girl, the baby's head is big," Keep him a secret for a while. He'll grow into it. He will grow. I'm sure he will. I'm sure that baby is going to be like 6'3". She's a giant. Like,
yeah, she's gargantuan.
Anyway, so she's just, and by the way, the picture looks like they've never met. She's holding the kid and it looks like they've never met.
Yeah, it's a foreign body. Yeah.
Like,
what do they call the
for?
UFOs?
UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. New edition of Seemingly Straight Woman Dates Lesbian with Interesting Hat has just dropped. Sophia Bush, from One Tree Hill actress Sophia Bush, has left her husband Grant Hughes after one bad year of marriage for women's very famous soccer player Ashlyn Harris, who in turn left her wife, fellow women's soccer player Allie Krieger. They were together for like 13 years. They have 2 kids, and now they are U-hauling together.
Absolutely. Yeah, this was a baffling move.
It's just like, it's shaking everyone so hard because apparently Ashlyn Harris just showed up like in France or wherever she was, I don't know, like living with her wife and was like, by the way, we're over and I'm with Sophia Bush now. And it's like, wait, what? But this does go in now I would say a tradition of Seemingly Straight Woman Dates Lesbian with Interesting Hat, starting with Chrishell and G-Flip. Chrishell from Selling Sunset and rapper G-Flip. They are like really the real deal. Like, they seem like they're so in love. Then we have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards, Paris Hilton's aunt.
Always a through line here at Flop Soup.
And country star Morgan Wade, who have been like queer baiting till the cows come home since Kyle announced her divorce from her husband Maurizio. And now we have
this.
Sophia Bush and Ashlyn Harris. It wouldn't be floppy except that like Ashlyn Harris and her, I guess now about to be ex-wife Allie Krieger were like very beloved couple, and Sophia Bush was very like random and like had this very weird wedding with her now ex-husband where like they got married in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they were like, remember the like horrible
things that happened here.
The horrible things that happened here, essentially. Yeah. And it was like, wait, why is that like the theme of your wedding?
It was like more that than anything. It's like just
they're both white. They're both white, and they're both white, and they were like, this is what the theme of our wedding is gonna be. And now they're divorced. And she's dating former soccer player Ashlyn Harris. So okay. Okay.
Next up, Emily Blunt apologizes after fat-shaming comments of Chili's server resurface. Quote, I've always considered myself someone who wouldn't dream of upsetting anyone.
Beautiful. She called the server enormous. Here's what I will say, hilarious line from her. I will say that like I do think that everyone, if they went back to like the year 2008 and like saw what they had said about fat people, they would be like, oh no.
Yeah. I kind of love that this is like the thing that skinny people have to deal with now, and like it's kind of like a reparation thing where it's just like, this is so embarrassing, and now you have to apologize for something like you said years and years ago that you don't even remember saying, but yet apologize for it, please, because it was egregious. Stupid.
It was.
Yeah, and then the host of the show that she said this comment on was like, well, you know, like, I mean, he was like, I don't know, like, go off.
Wait, like when she said that the Chili server was enormous, the host said go off, or when she apologized?
He was like, nothing wrong with that.
About the server being enormous, and she was like, I'll tell you, they were her story. Fatty fat.
Right. She was like, it was kind of one of those like UK people dunk on Americans type, I think, positionings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it's like, Americans are so.
Wow, I was giving her way too much credit. Americans are so eating at Chili's and being so fat.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, the war wages on, so whatever.
Great. It's like, you know what should happen is that an American person should have to apologize for calling British people so pale. That would be funny. That would be like
ugly toothed.
The American version of that. Yeah, like snaggled tooth, blindingly pale person. Okay. Where have we gone
the UK
here?
always has Fleabag, and what do we have?
One Tree Hill, I would say.
Okay. So those are our quick flops this week. Next, we're going to get into our hot flopics.
It's hot.
It's celebrity memoir season, and we're getting into it with the ramifications of Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me.
The Woman in Me.
I just feel like women.
So basically, this is focused in on Justin Timberlake because
the flop is him.
The flop is him. Okay, Britney's not flopping. We're not here to say that.
I really do like that scene.
But she basically, by the time this episode comes out, her memoir will be out. I will have it in my hands. I will be reading it.
Did I read? Absolutely.
Post pics of you holding it on the Instagram, please.
I'll be like, ooh, I love
Yeah.
to read.
Yeah. Yes.
So already the gossip has been hitting the news because some previews of the book have been given out to like tabloids. Like People magazine. The people are reading, and a lot of the gossip is focused on Justin Timberlake because this is one of those early aughts celebrity relationships that truly they'll report on even if they don't have anything to report on, you know, like it's Jen and Brad. It's like that type level where it can happen anytime, but now they actually have something because revelations have arrived. So the first of these is that, more simple, Justin broke up with her over text message.
Laugh out loud.
Simply stating to her, quote, "It's over."
It's over.
Yeah. And apparently this took place on the set of a music video that I'm deeply passionate about. And apparently she like disappeared for 30 to 40 minutes on the set and came back and was like, "Look at this." And it was the text and it just said, "It's over." And she was like, "It's happening." Already, like, he's a dirtbag, we agree, but dirtbag confirmed there.
Do you think he spelled "it's" correctly?
I think was it like OVR? Was there no
OVR?
Was
maybe
like,
he definitely did it in T9. Like he
T9?
definitely
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it's
had to do like 40 to 80 keystrokes to get out the phrase "it's over."
Right. So it's like at that point, then guy, just, you know, you got to call her at least, you know, in that era. That's kind
also
of
like, I'm not sure. Like, are you allowed? Like, if I was dating somebody for like 2 to 3 years and they texted me "it's over," I would call them on the phone and be like, "I'm not actually clear on what you're saying." Like, I don't think you're allowed to do it like this. Like, especially like when texting had just been invented, I would definitely be like, this is unprecedented territory. I don't think you're allowed to say such a thing.
Define it. And
yeah, please.
So the doozy that's been getting a lot of coverage is
which I can't believe she leaked before the memoir even came out. Just like, wait, girl.
We were all gonna buy it. Like, yeah. I mean, it's truly. This is like the one, you know. You want to reward the people who read books. So like leave it in the book. But Britney became pregnant while dating Justin and ultimately had an abortion because Justin said, quote, he's not ready to be a father at the time.
And also she said like she would have never done that. Basically, like she wouldn't have had the abortion if he hadn't been like, I'm not ready to be a father. She was like, I never would have thought of that, except then we agreed like together that we weren't going to have the kid.
Which is like really debilitatingly sad to hear, especially from Britney, who we love so much. And then now like a lot of her fans are like recontextualizing the song every time, her like ballad, to be about the abortion and that it's not about like a relationship, it's about her like
because is the music video like there's like a woman in a hospital, or did I make that up?
She's like going through a parking lot and then also there's her like in a bathtub and it's like very but she's like fighting off paparazzi. But I mean, also that's the kind of thing where it's like, Stans, maybe calm down, because it's like, let her tell her story, kind of like, I don't know, like
for
let her say that. But according to the book, like Justin Timberlake, quote, thought maybe music would help Britney Spears' abortion.
Yeah, so she had like an at-home like medication-induced abortion. Like they didn't want to go to a hospital for fear of being seen. So she was like, she took like those pills, and she's like, I'm in pain. I'm on the bathroom floor. Justin is thinking music will help, so he comes down and starts playing his guitar on the bathroom floor next to me, trying to make me feel better.
I've never seen that man play guitar also, so I don't know.
That's a really good point, right? It's like I can't even picture it. And like the thing that's really getting me about this is like, okay, so like in this story, he actually comes off much nicer than the idea of like, I wouldn't have gotten the abortion if it weren't for him. It's like, oh my God, he's seeing that she's suffering and he wants to help, but the only way that he can think of to help is
my voice,
my voice, my beautiful in sync voice. And it's like, what was he singing? She doesn't say what he sings. At least in what we've seen, we don't know.
I said Fix You.
Fix You by Coldplay. Was that even a song yet? Yeah.
I don't know if it was a song
Justin's
yet.
like, if I was making the movie, it would be Fix You by Coldplay. That's from 2005. It's too late. It can't be. I was thinking there's only one thing he could have sang, which is bye bye bye.
Oh.
To that fetus. Bye 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 to that fetus.
Right. This is a podcast
To
that
that
believes that life
zygote,
starts
whatever,
at birth, so,
whatever it is, like whatever it was at whatever point that was.
Yeah.
Just wow.
He thought it would help.
And Britney. He thought it would
I
help.
mean,
He thought music would
breaking
help. He thought
news.
music would help.
Breaking news: singer thinks that his voice can heal.
Yeah, it's
so
very
he tried
it's
that.
very like We Are the World coded, where it's like,
Yes.
what can I do to help? Sing a song.
Sing a
and
song.
Nothing else? Question mark.
People love to hear me sing song. But if you are maybe on the fence, like, what's the truth here? This is absolutely true, because truly the day after this came out, Page Six ran this like stupid story about nothing, but it was basically just like, meet Justin Timberlake's kids with Jessica Biel. It said their two kids, Silas and Phineas, which are like Hunger Games ass names. I don't even, like, so the capital.
Also,
but,
like the subtext here just being absolutely like, he didn't make everyone get an abortion. Don't you forget it.
Right. Like, what are we saying? Truly. Like, I mean, Page Six is like, I mean, sure, we'll run it, but that absolutely came from their people. Like,
also, okay, their faces, you do see their faces like in some of these photos. I was like, what if there's like not even faces and we can dunk on Paris Hilton again, but you see one of the kids' faces in this. But it's like just the most planted, like, what can we do here? And it's like, just take the
drop
hit.
the kids.
Just,
I mean, truly
just
sit it
sing
out.
sing a bonus song for the Troll soundtrack. Like, you're already on the outs, honey. Like, it's over for you. Like,
yeah, it's like he is in the flop era of just the tide has turned. Like, you're not even just the tide has turned, like you're in a completely different ocean now. Like, there's no getting back. You can't swim
1,000%.
back. Like,
Also,
you're caught in a current.
Like, whoever his like acting agent is so bad at their job. Like, he's not a bad actor. Like, he's good in some stuff. He can be funny, but for some reason he's in like really weird dramas that like nobody wants to see. It's like, okay, like sci-fi movie where everyone's like running out of time, and you're like, nah, I wouldn't put Justin Timberlake in that. And yet here we are. Another movie where it's like, he's got a nephew who's like in a trailer park, but he's smart and he's gonna help that nephew. And it's like, don't want to see that. That's not calling to me. And like,
the music is Friends with Benefits.
Right. The highlight is Friends with Benefits. And that's like from so long ago. And he was really good in that. But it's like, okay, so you're not being in good movies. Your music sucks. Like, there's nothing left there. You are running out of steam like a pop girl runs out of steam.
It's Katy Perry-esque, the way that his career has turned, where truly every single time you hear about him, it's about something bad. Like, even just a month ago with the VMAs where Megan Thee Stallion was talking to him backstage and everyone's like, Megan Thee Stallion's fighting with fuck-ass loser Justin Timberlake again.
It was just
and it's like...
And she came out and she was like, I was just saying, like, hey, we got to talk more later. I like your work.
I was just being expressive. It's like, okay. And then, I mean,
it's like so pathetic that Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, yeah.
He doesn't help himself, because I feel like he kind of made a deal with the devil in a way where he was like, oh, launching my solo career, I'm going to just kind of like trash talk all the women that are in my orbit. Like, I'm going to do Janet Jackson dirty, which is like, first of all, you're done. like,
please sit the fuck down.
Like, you're the worst person. And I'm going to do America's sweetheart, Britney Spears, dirty, and like talk shit about her all the time. And like, maybe it helped to generate tabloid stuff at the time, but long term, it's like, you're not thinking about how that's going to age.
Yeah.
I
do have to say, it's like one of the few things that I feel like right now, I feel like I can say, okay, the moral arc of the universe like bends towards justice. Like, he capitalized on like super patriarchy feelings in the early aughts, and now it's like he's facing the comeuppance. Everyone's looking back on that like, wow, like, you really like were awful to these two women, and like racism, misogyny,
knock it off, bigotry, knock it off.
Hard at work here. You capitalized on both of it, and now it's over for you. All right, bye.
It's over for you. Continue to make your troll songs.
Yeah, please.
Good luck with that.
And also, like, it turns out they both cheated. Like, he was like, oh, Britney cheated on me, he cheated too. She was like, also, he cheated in this memoir.
Right.
So
kind of noble of her to like not even try to say any of this while he's on top. It's almost like she knew that like she would lose that fight at the time. You know, if I say this now, they're gonna take his side either way. So let me just hold my peace, and then, you know, now the time's right. So
the time's right. I think also it sounds like she loved him a lot and was like, probably not. Probably was like, I don't really want to do whatever. She also just, you know, if you're like, should I read it? She's gonna talk about her 2-week tryst with Colin Farrell.
I love it. I mean, I'm so passionate about it.
So that's very interesting to me.
That was exactly what I hit pre-order. I was like, absolutely
gotta hear about that. Have to know about that. If everybody who's had a 2-week tryst with Colin Farrell could write a memoir, I will read it.
Let them bring it forward.
Yeah. Also, like, the thing about Katy Perry is that, like, whenever she does something evil, it's like so campy. Like, I don't even know what to say about that. When Justin Timberlake does it, it's just like mainstream, straightforward, pathetic.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Classic flop territory. But yeah, that's how Justin Timberlake's flopping this week. Because damn, like, you just
he's
can't.
down bad.
Justin Timber flop. Hey everyone, future Justin here, just dropping in to insert a piece of the memoir that we think is important to include. So here is Michelle Williams as Britney discussing Justin Timberlake's encounter with Genuine.
His band NSYNC was what people back then called so pimp. They were white boys, but they loved hip-hop. To me, that's what separated them from the Backstreet Boys, who seemed very consciously to position themselves as a white group. NSYNC hung out with black artists. Sometimes I thought they tried too hard to fit in. One day, Jay and I were in New York, going to parts of town I'd never been to before. Walking our way was a guy with a huge, blinged-out medallion. He was flanked by 2 giant security guards. Jay got all excited and said so loud, "Oh yeah, faux shiz, Genuine. What's up, homie?" After Genuine walked away, Felicia did an impression of Jay. "Oh yeah, faux shiz, Genuine." Jay wasn't even embarrassed.
Next up, SAG-AFTRA has released a How to Not Scab on Halloween guide, making us all go, who needs this? What is this for? How is this helping you strike a deal?
I have to say, though, they were like, these actors are gonna get up to some kind of like shit in Halloween and like desperately trying to promote themselves or their projects. So they're like, hey, don't do it. Like, here's how to not do it.
The list is like, okay, elaborate. Like, you can't dress up as characters from most live action TV shows and movies because it would count as promotion that's forbidden under strike rules. And that they need to be like doing more generalized characters, or I think also animated shows would be allowed. Like, you could dress up as like the Family Guy. Yes. But generalized characters being like ghosts, zombies, spiders, like normal Halloween stuff. And then Mandy Moore was like, is this a joke? Come on, is this what's important? We're asking you to negotiate in good faith on our behalf. So many folks across every aspect of this industry have been sacrificing mightily for months. Get back to the table and get a fair deal so everyone can get back to work. Please and thank you. I'm a little bit like on her side.
This is important because I actually think I'm more on SAG's side, because I'm kind of like, okay, they just had that meeting where the producers were like, fuck you guys, we're done. And and negotiations were suspended. So they're like, let me put together this little infographic to help people out this Halloween. Because also, what have we heard on all these podcasts of like former actors who are like trying to talk about stuff? They're just like, is this scabbing? Is this scabbing or not? And it's like, SAG's like, here, let me help you. This is what scabbing is. You know, I'm kind of like, whatever. I mean,
I'm
interested in why Mandy Moore was upset about it, because it's also like, why?
I think that probably the reaction is something related to like, I'm just trying to like enjoy my Halloween. But I think also like, would a celebrity dress up as their own character for Halloween?
Yes, I'm saying actors are so self-obsessed they totally would. It's totally
I don't know about that. Like,
I feel isn't this funny? Like,
I feel like they dress up as
This Is Us. I'm the old lady from This Is Us.
But I feel like when I see celebrities dressing up every year, it's always like, we're the people from Fifth Element. Like, you know, like, is it scabbing if you weren't in that movie? Like,
this is a case for the FBI.
Not like somebody's gonna be like, oh my god, I'm Leonard Bernstein in Maestro for Halloween. Like, that movie hasn't come out yet. You know, like
yeah. You know what it did remind me of actually was, do you remember that infographic that PETA released that one year that was like, here's language
it was
that's
like, stop
bad.
saying kill two birds with one stone. Two stones with whatever.
Birds with one scone. Yes.
See 2 birds with 1 scone. Oh yeah, it is very much like that. And I do think that the celebrities, like Ryan Reynolds, who is so fucking annoying all the time, said, I look forward to screaming scab at my 8-year-old all night. She's not in the union, but she needs to learn. Like, that's funny. Like, it's funny to be like how far do these rules go? Like, if I dress my kids up as like, the Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz? Am I going to jail? Am I going to Union jail? Like,
they're just saying, Ryan Reynolds, don't dress up as Deadpool because you have a Deadpool movie that's coming up next year. That's what they're saying. You know what I mean?
I guess a fair point would be like, if there was one guy who would do that, I would see Ryan Reynolds dressing up as Deadpool for Halloween.
Exactly, because he's annoying.
But that's like kind of the only guy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they were like, you know what? We're waiting for the producers to get back to the table with us. Let's just put out a little infographic. I do agree that it's floppy because it's just the
it feels meaningless.
Yeah, it does feel ultimately meaningless. Is Margot Robbie going to dress up as Barbie? Is Cillian Murphy going to dress up as Oppenheimer this Halloween?
Like, no, I don't fucking think so. Cillian Murphy definitely doesn't give a fuck about that movie, which I love about him.
Right. Absolutely done in the can. Yeah.
But it did create like so much of this type of conversation that they did come out and clarify, like, hey, it doesn't apply to anyone's kids. And also musicians and reality stars are not subject to this. To which I say, okay, the actors, you can dress up as musicians and reality stars yourselves then too. Like a guy from Duck Dynasty could be Ken from Barbie. Is that show still on? Is that show still on? Does anyone know? Like
No, but that's honestly, the best example because they're not doing any other work besides Duck Dynasty. Like once you're on Duck Dynasty,
who's on The Deadliest Catch? Those people can dress up like all the Kens. Okay, and then that would be allowed. And then all the Kens in Barbie, all those actors could dress up as the guys from The Deadliest Catch, and that would all be kosher.
Copacetic. We love.
Here we go.
They should have used that on the infographic.
Yeah, they should. Honestly, I really feel like an example really grounds things for people. The final point here is that Heidi Klum can be a worm again. She could be a worm again if she wanted to, as long as it's not like the Dune worm or anything. She could be just a normal worm. Dune 2 definitely struck. Dune 2. Yeah, Dune 2 struck as hell. Did you see that someone is suing Dune 2, being like, I've suffered damages because Dune 2 was the only thing I was looking forward to this year, so they're suing for damages. Yeah.
It's me. Oh God. No, that's so bad.
That's really good.
Oh my God.
That's actually really good. It's in the vein of who sued over Ana de Armas. Ana de Armas wasn't in the Beatles movie enough, so two guys sued. She got cut out of it completely, and they were like, we thought she was going to be in it.
That's why you
owe me damages for that. They won, I think.
No, it got dismissed.
They tied. They tied.
They won. They should have won.
They tied.
They tied.
I don't know a thing about the law. Sorry, mom and dad. Okay.
All right.
That's it. Those are hot topics. It's hot. Call in if you were a celebrity. What would you dress up as this Halloween? Subjected to SAG rules. Which celebrity are you? What would you dress up as?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next up, getting into our local flops. Cassandra, you did the work of the last one. Would you like me to start?
Yes, please start.
Okay. So Los Angeles is now the second rattiest city in America, even rattier than last year.
We don't run the city. The rats do.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Is that like number of
There's
rats?
More rats. There's more rats.
It's did they check the hood of your car?
So there's a lot of rats, which makes it rattier. I think my police report about my car.
It was pulled for this.
It was pulled. This is according to recent data from Orkin, which released its annual list of top 50 rattiest cities in America for 2023.
So delicious.
Which is so nice of them to do.
It's so nice of them to do.
Yeah, so LA ranked second in the country, which is up from last year when it placed third, which is when my car troubles happened.
Was full of rats. I do have to say,
I bumped us up to second as well.
Yeah, it was you. It was the two to five rats nesting in your car. Exactly. I do have to say, Philadelphia up here right now, as they are not in the top 5.
You're number 6.
Yeah, we are. But we're not in the top 5. I do have to say, we just took our engagement photos at Old City in this beautiful, cute little garden, and there was like such a huge rat like, just running around.
Well, so next year you could maybe make the top 5.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So that's how LA's flopping this week in my local corner of the universe.
Shout out, Curly.
I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. So the Philadelphia Phillies, just like quick recap, they're like in the playoffs again. We're thinking more than ever that they're going to win the World Series. Every game after they win, they play a version of Robyn's Dancing on My Own by British gay singer Callum Scott.
Hey, you haven't returned any.
You are gay.
It is a Tiesto remix of Callum Scott's cover. So like it's very popular. I will say a lot of bars I go to, they play the Robyn version when they win and not this sort of wrong version. But the Callum Scott version now has like triple the number of streams that the Robyn version does.
It's disgusting. It's awful. And none of it should have happened.
1 billion streams. And fans of Robyn, quote unquote, are demanding justice, okay, for this. Which is just like silly and floppy of them because Robyn is getting paid for this. And also Callum Scott is gay. So like it's hard. It's a little
That's what makes
hard.
It so complicated.
Like it makes it really complicated. If this was like just some fucking straight guy who sang it and then Tiesto remixed it, that would be really cut and dry. I feel like maybe the person that we should be targeting is Tiesto. Like that could be the villain here.
Or baseball.
Well, no. Actually, no. We're disagreeing. Not baseball. Right. Baseball's great. Have you seen, I feel like we haven't caught you up on like, there's many threads from gay people themselves who love the Philadelphia Phillies. They're like always hugging and kissing.
I believe it. I'm just saying the weaponization of this particular song and the remix of it to become a sports anthem. I didn't want it to go this way for this song, the original. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like I wish that they were just playing the original. When this first started.
Caroline.
Well, no, that's a Boston Red Sox song, Justin.
I don't know what that means. I don't know sports teams' own songs. Okay.
They can each have their own song. It's just like I did think
Why can't
at
they
first.
Share a song? They should do Get Right by J-Lo.
They can't. No, well, they could do Get Right by J-Lo. But if it was a cover of Get Right by J-Lo, it would be like the same problem. The issue is that somebody needed to have fed the Robyn version originally, and then that could have just been like the answer to all of the questions.
The reason is the problem is we let Robyn flop originally. Well, we didn't let her flop because she's an indie darling, but it's like she didn't obtain the level of success that the song deserves, mainstream, which I guess makes it better. So now this does. You know what I mean? So
this does. And I do feel like Tiesto is sort of like the villain because when I imagine like how this song got discovered, apparently home run slugger Kyle Schwarber like brought it to the team and was like, yo, I like this song.
We have talked about that on the pod.
We have talked about it. Okay, well, here's what I want to say. It's not clear if he found it on like a Tiesto playlist, which is why I would blame Tiesto. So yeah. Anyway, Phillies are playing right now. I hope they're winning.
Hey,
I hope that more bars play the Robyn version.
Yeah, and fans of Robyn, we know you're listening, so we love you.
We love you. You're right. It's just like I don't really think it's helpful to like demand justice. Like we all know, the people who need to know. You know,
that's true. It should continue to be like our song. The
like
fans of Robyn.
Yeah. If anything, it's like you have like a new thing to be like, well, this isn't the good one.
Yeah, and we had a fun day dragging Callum Scott for no reason.
Absolutely. So the flop is just like relax, everybody. Just chill out.
True.
It's fine that it passed 1 billion streams. Robyn is getting that moolah. Okay.
True. Chill vibes here at Flop Soup.
That's right.
And that's everything.
That's it. That's all we have. So this is Cassandra and Justin flopping off.